Hello everyone and welcome to the Paint and Picnic virtual workshop. Today we are going to be making the cutest little reindeer on an 8x10 canvas. As you can see, we're working with Master's Touch acrylic paint. Don't worry if we're going too fast. I'm going to be linking all of these paint numbers in the description box below. So we're going to start off by turning our canvas from landscape into portrait. Starting with a pencil, we're then going to make a medium-sized circle towards the bottom left-hand side of our canvas. And as you can see, I'm making a pretty big-sized medium circle. From there, I'm going to enclose the circle with two semicircles rounding off the side of the canvas. From there, I'm going to make this larger shape to create a scarf, and then two small wavy rectangles to the side to make it look like the scarf is tied. As you can see from there, I'm going to make a very small circle inside my medium-sized circle from earlier. This is going to be our nose, and then a line down the middle of our smaller circle and a J. As you can see, I'm just cleaning up this right here. This is going to act like that mouth part of a reindeer. From there, I'm going to add two small dark circles to the top left side of our reindeer, and that's just going to create the eyes. From there, I'm going to make a square and then round it back out to create the top portion of my reindeer. And as you can see, I'm just reshaping. You can kind of make this whatever shape you want, but you do want it to be about half the size of your medium semicircle. We don't have to completely get rid of these ears. We can just add them in here all big. As you can see from here, I'm adding my antlers. Now, these are really fun. I just do squiggle lines up, and then when I come back down, I make sure that they match roughly the other side. And so you can kind of play around with this as well with your reindeer and have fun with it. You want them to be pretty big and cover the rest of the top portion of your canvas. You can see here, I'm just wiggling it up and then wiggling it back down to create my antlers. Then I'm going to add the lines to my scarf to kind of create that round definition. And this is what it should look like sketched. From there, I'm going to be going in with this brown and white color, and starting with the browner base, I'm going to go in with a flat brush, and I'm just going to be starting on the body portion, being very careful not to get too far into my scarf, as we're going to be covering this with green later. From there, I'm going to be going in with a white color. Now, this white is going to pop right over top of this darker brown, and it's going to create a really, really beautiful textured look. As you can see, here I am going in with the white, being very careful to just kind of blend it through. And I'm being relatively sloppy towards the bottom because we're going to create this texture here in a second once I completely cover this bottom part of our reindeer. And here we are. I'm just swooping this back down and forth, creating this elongated motion just to create texture down here. From there, I'm going to add a little bit of white, and I'm going to go straight into the top half of our reindeer, that square we had created earlier, and also the ears. And this is just slightly lighter, very, very slightly lighter than the bottom half of our body. And I'm not really doing too much to dip back into my paint. I'm just kind of using what is left over on my brush. Being careful not to go into my medium-sized circle. Here we are. All right, and from there, I'm going to take even more white on my brush, and what was left over And I'm going to create this lighter brown color. As you can see, I'm using a swooping motion to create a kind of circular pattern in this medium-sized circle. And this is going to be, like I said, that mouth portion of our reindeer. Making sure not to get inside the middle because that's going to be our darker nose. Rounding it back out. From here, I'm going to do the exact same thing, just picking up a little bit more of that white, and I'm going to be doing my antlers. Now, you can feel free to touch back and forth in between the dark and the white, and the important part is that you're kind of creating this jagged motion down your antlers. And like I said, this is just creating texture and definition to our painting. As you can see, I'm being careful to outline where I'd done my antlers previously. I'm going to go ahead and give you an even better look on this side. You can see I'm just very lightly creating this circular jagged motion as I go down and very carefully paint my reindeer's antlers. And if you feel like you want to add some more to it, you can. I felt like mine were fine. I'm using that extra on my brush to kind of create definition on the ears and down the sides of the face. From here, I'm going to go in with a white and a clean brush. And I'm going to be adding in our nose. And then from there, I'm going to be moving on to our eyes. And with the eyes, I'm just creating an oval going from top to bottom, roughly in the middle of the semicircles. You can see I'm just very roughly doing this. After that, we're going to go in with this green. And this is where we're covering in our scarf. Creating that same textured motion. It does take me a little bit of time to do this part because obviously we don't want to be getting green up into the mouth of our reindeer, and we don't want to be getting green down into the body of our reindeer either. We want to keep it very close and concise into our scarf. As you can see, I'm just finishing it off, doing these little side portions. And there we have the scarf of our reindeer. Now from there, I'm going to be taking this really beautiful red color, and I'm going to be going in with these red marks down our scarf. Once again, this just creates a little bit more definition. And then from there, this is what our reindeer should look like. I'm going to go in with that same black brush from earlier that we used for our nose, and I'm going to be creating a mouth. You can have fun with this part too. You can create all sorts of different looking mouths. I just did a kind of a smiley face. And then from there, I'm going to be going in with my pure white accents, just doing the nose and obviously the eyes, maybe adding a couple more in here on the hooves the antlers. And that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for coming along with me, and I hope you enjoyed this workshop.